Hi guys, how's it going? So, let's talk about signs of spiritual awakening. And this is based off my experience with my own spiritual awakening, like what I went through. I can't speak like generally or tell you what to expect. I'm only sharing my story. Why every time I swear my voice always chooses to crack. Time I sit down and film. All day my voice been fine, but time I need to film, that's when my voice want to act crazy. But anywho, let's get into it. So I remember when, well, the first stage of my spiritual awakening. Let me start by saying that before I go off on a whole tangent and start telling the story. I'll put the stories in, like I'll tell bits and pieces of the story, because if I don't do it that way, then this video will be like 3 hours long and I'm not gonna sit here and do all of that. So the first stage of my spiritual awakening, I was depressed. So depressed. Like, I thought I was losing my mind. I was crying all the time for no reason. No reason whatsoever. I'll just like find myself and it doesn't even matter. Like, I could be just sitting down, minding my business, reading a book, watching, and the tears just come. And it didn't make any sense to me. And I'm like, the heck is going on? Like, why do I keep crying for no reason? And I remember I reached out to my best friend at the time, and I was telling her like, hey, I think I'm sad, but I don't feel sad. And I don't know if me saying that I think I'm sad is even the right thing to say, because I know I'm not sad, but I just can't stop crying. And I want to know what the hell is up with that. So she was like, you know what? I'm going to ask Pastor for his number and I'll give it to you and you could call him and talk to him and let him know, and maybe y'all could like work through it. But deep inside of me, I know, like, fuck out of here. I'm not calling Pastor for that. Like, And it just went on and everything just felt crazy. Like nothing made sense to me anymore in my life. Like nothing. When I say nothing made sense, it's like I went from, I think I was 19 going on 20 at the time, and I didn't know what to expect at all. And at this point, I was going to church. I would go to church all the time and I'm big on church. Didn't know anything about spirituality at the time at all. And if somebody had tried to tell me all the stuff that I discovered later on, I'd be like, blasphemy. You are going to the bad place. Like, no, I don't want to hear it. But then I was like, I just couldn't shake the feeling. And I remember I was at work one day and one of my coworkers said to me, oh, you just seem off. Like, what's up with you? And I started explaining to him, and he was like, oh, honey, you're depressed. You should see. And I'm like, I'm black. Black people don't get depression. Like, what do you mean? He was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was just trying to help, because you normally have this bubbly personality and you just seem off and it's just not like you. So I just figured I'd help. And then, like I was saying earlier, this started like when I was around 19, around 19 going on 20-ish. And I became a child all over again. I remember like I would, like, when my nieces come over, I would keep their dolls. And my grown self would sit there and play with dolls. And I remember one day my dad came home and he saw me in the living room just in there, just like nursing a doll. And I even still have a picture of me like with a doll on my Facebook, because I remember. And it's like I became a child all over again. And like things that I used to like, it just like, ugh, get away from me. I don't like it no more. I don't want to do it no more. And I was like, and then it took a while. Like I was stuck in that phase for a while. And then I don't want to say it kind of got normal, because I don't think it ever did. But it was to the point now where the crying had stopped. and I went internal more. And what I mean by I went internal more is then I started talking to my guides more, and it's to the point where I would always have conversations with them in my head. Sometimes I remember one time I drove from about 30 minutes, about 35 minutes, somewhere up in that time frame, from my home to work. It was about, like I said, 35 minutes, somewhere up in there, in my head, having conversations with my guide, bawling my eyes out. I didn't even know when I got to work. I realized I was at work when I walked in and somebody started talking to me. I don't know when I parked, when I got out, when I turned the car. All of that was blank. And it never dawned on me until years later. It never dawned on me, like, how did I? And I find myself, even till this day, I still have moments like that where I would drive long period, like miles, hours, and I don't even know like how and when I got there, because I'd be so deep. I don't want to say I'm just so deep in thought or in conversation with my guides. Like, it's wild. But, and me, I remember, like, even that was the first stage, because you can go through more than one spiritual awakening in your lifetime, and that was the beginning stages. That was the first stages of it. And even I went through that, and I remember after I met my husband, and he was telling me he's not a religious person, he's a spiritual person. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not even gonna. And he tried to tell me about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not entertaining this with you, because that's blasphemy. I don't even want to hear it. And then I was at work one day, and this lady I used to work with, she said to me, oh, you're so powerful. And it just like went over my head. It never gave it another thought or anything like that. But then I can't even tell you how or when it all clicked. I just, like, I don't know, like, I blocked that part out, but I went down a rabbit hole. And this was my second spiritual and I went down a rabbit hole. I started reading books on everything. I went on YouTube and I started watching video on spirituality and all that. And I remember I was watching this one video, and somebody was, this lady, she was talking about how she came across The Secret. And then I had to go research The Secret. And then I found the book, and I bought the book, and then I had to watch the film, and then I had to do all of that. And I was like, but it's like, and then it's like, once you go through this, you sit there, you look at yourself like, was I living a lie? Because nothing is what it seems. Like, how did I used to think like this? How did I believe this? How did I not know this? And then it's like, sometimes my guides, they will just be like, hey, calm it down a little bit. This is part of it. This is part of the journey, okay? Embrace it a little bit. And me, I always have questions. I'm a Life Path 7. I love research. So I'm going to research everything. Everything. And it's like watching TV for me. Let me tell you, I cannot watch a program on TV, like a TV show, a movie, any of that, without being like, my mama lied to me. She tell me this is all camera trick and this is not real. And I'm like, how the heck they just put all this in front of our faces and expecting us not to know? They think we not supposed to believe this. And I remember even too, like, when I came across Chinese zodiac, and I was like, and they're trying to tell me dragons ain't real. Because how the hell you have 11 real animals and then you come up with one mythical one? Yeah, tell that to somebody else, not I. Because, I'm not buying it. I mean, everything that we thought we know. Let me save that for another video, but scratch that thought. But like I was saying, like watching TV, it's like I can see through it. I was like, and then even too, like my taste in things that I watched changed, significantly changed, because now I only watch things with like royalty, because I don't know, I've been so drawn to royal life. I don't know, I felt like maybe in one of my past, I don't like to use the word past lives, because there's no such thing as past lives, because everything is happening simultaneously. So there's no such thing as past life, present, future. It's none of that. But for the sake of the video, we're going to say past life. But keep in mind, well, from my own understanding, it's no such thing as past lives. But like I was saying, I am drawn to royalty, anything with magic, anything with witches, werewolves, vampires, any of that. Just give me a horror flick any day of the week. That's right up my alley. Because it's like watching those, it just, like, I can't explain. I don't have the human equivalent of words to put it into for you guys to fully grasp what I'm trying to say. But it's like I can see through it. And I was like, how the heck did I used to think this was not real? Because it is real. Because we convinced ourselves somewhere along the line that we're limited. The body is limited, right? We, the divine, cannot be limited, right? The meat suit, it's limited. Because like my arm, I can only, it can't. But outside, like my soul is not. It can't be, right? Because we're energy. So you cannot, there's no such thing as limits. No such thing. And I remember too, like I was on Apple TV and I was watching Dark Matter. Oh my gosh. If you guys haven't seen that, you should check it out. It's like based off the scientist Erwin Schrödinger. And if you don't know about Erwin Schrödinger, he created this theory. He came up with this theory. I don't think he was the first one to come up with it, but don't quote me, I could be wrong, that there was this box and inside the box was an explosive and a cat. But you don't know if the cat is either dead or alive. But I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, it's both. And everybody looked at me like, it can't be both. And I'm like, it is both. But at the time when I was thinking that, I didn't understand what I was saying. But it's just like, I just know. But now I know, like, why I know that I knew that back then. Because everything, like I said earlier, everything is happening simultaneously. So if the bomb may never go off, the cat is alive. And if the bomb do go off, the cat is dead. So it's both, right? But when I tell you that me going through a spiritual awakening is like one of the best things that has ever happened to me. Oof, I love it. I love it. Because now, and then too, like with my third eye being open, I don't even know how that even happened, because I didn't do anything special to open it. It just opened. I don't know how, and I'm not complaining. Best thing that ever happened to me is like, sometimes my daughter will be like, how do you know? I'll just tell her stuff. Like, I'll just know stuff before it happened, because see everything, hear everything, know everything, feel everything. And she'll be like, how do you? She was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna ask. I'm used to you by now. I am so used to you. I already know. Then she'll be like, sometimes I wish I could be like you. Sometimes I wish I know that I could just do the things you do. And I'm like, don't wish it. It'll come to you. It will. But that is my story, guys, on my spiritual awakening. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.